And my name's Clint Sears, as you well know. I'm the CEO founder of I had the Resilience Academy, I help entrepreneurs, leaders, and managers to be able to live an exciting life and have the success in the business that they really deserve and demand. And before I get started, I think that what we want to do today is to really have a look at worry, and more to look at the cost of worry, and to be able to look at some mind hacks about what we can really do about worry and help you resolve those challenges to be able to free up that mental capacity for you to really succeed. Understand what worry is and how we can address it. But before we go on, I think that when we're talking about worry and resilience, we really need to give some highlight to the Invictus Games competitors, that they've come through significant challenges, both physical and mental challenges, to be able to prepare themselves for these games and to celebrate. And I think that if we're always should be looking for role models, and if we're looking for role models in regards to resilience, then these people would be certainly at the top of the field in regards to their resilience in overcoming some considerable challenges. And I guess what I want to do is just highlight just for a moment some of the ultimate successes that the Australian team have had during just yesterday in the indoor rowing. And we had a fantastic, phenomenal day in the indoor rowing with just in the endurance events. Just to name a few, we had a first and the fourth in the men's IR4. Peter Bow and Mark Daniels had a fantastic job there. The women's IR6 endurance, Emily Masoro, won that event and took home gold for Australia there. The men's IR3 4 minutes, once again another gold to Australia with Nathan Parker claiming gold for Australia in a very close fought battle there. And the women's IR6, I guess, is such an extraordinary result for Australia, with our women doing so well. The IR6, we had Emma Kazakova coming first, Tiff White coming second, and Sarah Pechel coming third, and even Vanessa Borhill coming in fifth. So Aussies occupying the top spots in the endurance event for indoor rowing. So well done to the men and women of the Australian team. You were certainly our role models for us to model here, and we look forward to further celebrations of everyone's successes. You compete, you are therefore successful because you've overcome the mindset and the physical limitations that other people would cause you to not be able to step up and make your mark in this regard. And I really love that as the hashtag for the Invictus Games. And so in moving on to worry, what is worry? Well, first of all, our mind is there to protect us, and so the mindset of is we have been given a default setting to worry. It is there to make us safe. If we're in the primitive age, if you like, if we were to go to one berry and eat this berry, that would cause us potentially to get sick and die. And so our mind is always there to keep us on edge, to default to worry, to keep us alert, mentally alert for either something that's going to eat us or something that we're going to fall victim to injury and therefore not being able to look after ourselves and eventually die. So it is a survival mechanism. And so what happens now, if we look at the entrepreneur, leader and manager, this default setting to worry can really limit us. Why does it limit us? What is the cause of that? Well, if you look at all of these athletes, they're really getting to what Csikszentmihalyi referred to as the flow state. He identified that there was a time where that there was effort and ease in excelling to such a high level. And you know, some athletes actually, you know, complete incredible odds, actually don't realize how much effort and footwork and how fast they're really going, that they just feel like they're really in flow, which is hence why he's called it that. And you know what we've got to get to within, when we're working, when we're pursuing excellence, we need to get ourselves to that flow state. And where does that exist? Well, it happens when we've got high skill and when we have a moderate level of arousal. And what we've got is that when we're thinking about us, you know, not performing and not performing at our best, what we're doing is we're limiting that. We're looking at the cost. We're looking at the opportunity. But for us to perform at our best, we really have to bring out all of our reserves. We need to think more creatively. We need to be thinking about what resources we can bring to bear to really overcome maybe the challenges that we're facing. And so the question is, how do we go from worrying to thinking creatively, or even to get to a flow state? Well, the first thing is that we can't remunerate on it. We can't get it to loop through our head. And so the best thing we can do is, if we are concerned about something, is to get it out and write it down. And then we then really analyze it. We really think, right, well, you know, is this true? Because remember, our mind is all about confabulations and conspiracies. If you follow Bren Brown's work, that we've got to look beyond the confabulations and conspiracies. What is our brain really trying to make up? And see it for what it is, not worse than it is. That is the key strengths for a leader. If you, once again, if you're paraphrasing Tony Robbins, we have to then look at that considerably and say, okay, well, you know, what is the likely, what is the consequence? Look at the risk associated with this, and really get clarity on it. And then say, okay, well, if that's what the potential outcome is, what am I going to do about it? What can I do about it? And there are always things that we can do about it. And then what we've done is, once we've done it, when we've really considered what the impacts might be, then we then just put it away. Put it away. And then go back to focus on, let's get clarity around the vision. Because if we're worried, what we're looking at is potentially things going wrong. What we need, if we're focusing on considering things going wrong, then we'll never get to things going right. We have to put it away so we can refocus ourselves on the vision, on what's really going right, what can go right, and committing that to action. And our brain will often come up to a point where it will come back to, you know, that reverse loop of going back to worry. And you can say, oh, no, I've got that now. You can do cancel erase. I've got that. Thanks, subconscious mind. I have that. We have that in hand. And we can always go back to looking at getting the task being successful and focusing on that successful outcome, worrying about the failure of things going wrong. And so I hope that this video has been helpful, and I really would love you, if you have found it helpful, to like it, share it, follow the Way Ahead Academy and the Resilience Radio, so that we can continue to support you in achieving the results that you really want to have happen. And so if you've had someone that you're thinking of when you've been listening to this this video, while you have been having some worry, maybe some doubt, that they might be going through those challenges right now, then post them, tag them into it, or even share it with them. I would like to be able to support them in creating the success that they desire. That's it from me now. I hope you all the best to all the athletes in the Victus Games. I'm really excited to hear some further results. Out from now.